Rudy the dad. That's a hard one. Paul the grandpa. That's hard too. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Mushoku Tensei. Normally I would open up with the board, but I don't actually have anything on the board at the moment. Y'all haven't informed me about anything I needed to correct on the family chart side of things. There's been nothing to add to the gods rankings stuff and who's associated with who based on what I should know already. So, yeah, board is as is at the moment. I do, of course, have notes. So, going over the notes. It's kind of on the nose that the problem Norn has is the same ballpark as Rudy's past, making it that much more important for Rudy to address, but I also can't help but enjoy the emotional imperative that he has to try and save her from his past. At the same time, they are not quite equivalent. Rudy was both tortured by constant physical assaults by his classmates, but also brought down by the mental traumas he felt in reliving them and trying to escape them. Norn, by comparison, is suffering from fear of what might happen and trying to escape that possibility. The symptoms are the same, but the root causes are entirely different. In that way, I appreciate that they didn't go just one for one, but used an existing event to propagate issues that needed to be addressed later or vis-a-vis now. Or last episode. You know what I'm saying. I also appreciate how we got more insight into Rudy's past. On first glance, it seemed like Rudy isolated himself due to what happened, but was also abandoned by the world. But slowly, over the course of the show, we've not only seen how forgiving the world around Rudy actually was, but how deep Rudy dug the hole around himself. I mentioned it last episode, but his mother delivering him food outside his door, telling him that she knows that her boy is strong enough to overcome this, and that they deal with his assaulters at the school. There was also his friend that would come and see him, that made one unfortunate joke that caused Rudy to blow up on him, and he never returned. When it came to the brothers, though, our shots of them in the past was one of them busting down his door and coming at him with baseball bats for having skipped out on their parents' funeral. So seeing in the last episode that they weren't always uncaring about him, that they also tried to do what they could before it all came to that, was a nice touch. Not that it wouldn't have also been realistic, that they could have approached their brother with apathy, just that it wouldn't have felt right for a story like this. It also does well to push the narrative of the difference between who Rudy was before and who he is now, and how he's trying to be better. And here's where I'm going to step into a hornet's nest again, but, you know. It was nice, for a moment, how Rudy thanked Persina and Alenia for letting him know about Norn's situation. I really like the whole friend group comes together to make sure that no part of it suffers thing that we've got going on now. But then, on consideration, I had to think about why that felt off to me. And I think it's because I can't shake the feeling that Persina and Lenia are not in the friend group by choice. In fact, they are more like Norn than anyone else in their relationship to Rudy. Rudy beat them up, tied them to chairs, and forced them to stay in a room for an extended period, to the point that they were forced to use the bathroom in their clothes. Then, when he was ready to let them go, he made sure to let Sylphette see them. So, physically abused like he was, and then humiliated like he was. Now, just like Norn has been, they are afraid of him. At the start of the episode, when he's charging towards Norn's class, Persina even says she's afraid. One of Norn's biggest hurdles is her fear that her brother would abuse her like he did to Paul, in her perception. Well, these two girls have that same perception of don't let that happen to us again, except that their tormentor proved himself to be the strongest guy at school. So while I'm glad Norn got help because of these two, I still feel bad for what they went through and dislike the lack of recognition Rudy gives to what he did. And yes, I know there's going to be plenty of people out there who want to defend Rudy because they love the character, but I think the strongest thing about the series is the fact that Rudy recognizes the change that he wants to invoke in himself, and the fact that he can't let others be the person that he used to be. So the fact that we could do this to these two girls, and Rudy just never recognizes what he's done, and there's elements of them interacting with him in such a way as to believe that he is to them what his tormentors were to him. I don't know. Again, I just can't get over it. I'm further along on that track than I am the whole slavery thing. Because at least with the slavery thing, we don't bring it up constantly. The one example of the girl that we've seen, she's living a better life. She's almost like, I mean, essentially, I've said before, she's family now. But this is just a hurdle I can't get over. Sort of a mental note, sort of a meta note on the subject of reacting. I always say that I get more emotional about certain scenes when I rewatch them alone to take my notes. I have to think that one, there is the element of being watched, of course, but two, there's also the knowledge and understanding of what is going on the second time through. The first watch, I have all the concerns about not just the show, but my running commentary I'm making about it, being mindful about the breaks in between when I'm talking for editing purposes, you know, stuff like that. The second time, it's just me watching and thinking, and that makes it easier for things to sink in emotionally. One could say my second watches are how the show is meant to be watched. So just remember, stone-faced reactions for more than one reason. I don't recall if I ever said anything about it, but Rudy looking like Paul in Norn's eyes when he says when he was at his emotional lowest point was probably the best visual in the entire season so far for me. Especially given, I wrote this before, I'm now also thinking when Rudy went to kill himself in the first core of the season. Probably this and that are the two strongest for me because that was just Rudy's emotional lowest point in a long time, and that really sits up here. But this one though, especially given Rudy's own internal monologue about Paul back then, considering Rudy's own actual age and experience, in just a few seconds, it was an amazing visual metaphor for so many things. Where Rudy's been, where he's come from and been through, and how much like his new dad he actually is. How they both were wearing that older spirit on their face in the same way, and how others can read it in them. It even serves as a reminder of where Paul was back then, and how he must have been feeling, without the internal monologue that we get from Rudy. It was a very earned visual. And lastly, though, a bit of a world building thing that just stuck with me when I'm listening to Rudy talk at the end of the episode. If Nana Hoshi ever finds a way back and talks to Rudy's older brother, I don't know. On top of everything I've said about how does Rudy ever broach the subject of his origins to everyone that he cares about, the possibility that then exists for being able to travel back and forth between worlds. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to teleport from Earth to the fantasy world. No magic here. But you could get summoned at the cost of the disaster. But even that could be mitigated, I feel like. Do it out in the middle of nowhere, for example. Just feels like there is a door to turn Mushoku Tensei into the next season of Gate. And if you haven't watched Gate, I highly recommend Gate. It might not be like as emotionally fulfilling as Mushoku Tensei, but I don't know. If you're an older guy and you like isekai and you like anime and you want like yourself as a protagonist and you're not like 17 anymore, right? That's Gate. Gate also fulfills the what if I took a gun back to 1,000 years ago, right? It just, I don't know. Just my immediate thought in that situation. Anyway, I think that's all my thoughts here. Once again, as always, hit me up in the commentary um, below the video, wherever you see this posted. I do enjoy the interaction. Otherwise, I believe let's go ahead and hop on into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Turning point 3, though. Something big's about to happen. Oh, you can't wave in front of your friends? Come on.
そういえば、ルイジェルドさんの槍の話って兄さん聞きました？
あれか、語るも涙の話だよな。
そうですね。なんとかできないんでしょうか。
俺は最近例の計画に取り掛かった。
But I thought the curse was going away due to perception.
った本を執筆し、真実を世に知らしめるのだ。だが書き方に悩んでいた。ドキュメンタリー風か日記風か。最初から大作って感じじゃなくて、10ページぐらいのコピー紙っぽくして、
Look at that epic.
配布するとか。
People like a good story.
兄さん、何をしているんですか？
実はルイジェルドさんの偉業を称えた本を書こうと思ってな。へえ、
それだけなんですか？
まだな。これ
I mean, I can't read it.
私にも手伝わせてもらっていいですか？ルイジェルドさんには昔話をたくさん聞かせてもらったので、私にも何か書けると思います。
ああ、助かるよ。でも勉強はおろそかにしないようにな。
Probably be a good together moment. Co-author a book together, or whatever you want to call it. I will say this episode is going to be hard-pressed to earn its title. I only mean that in the sense that I have constantly said in the past that, for me, the real turning points are the emotional family or character interaction. Not character interaction. Sorry, I'm blanking here. Character connective bits. Like, turning point 1 for me was emergency family meeting. That was the most important element of the story so far for me. So literally last episode, having to deal with Norn's insecurities and coming together as a family again. Normally, the way these turning points go, that would be my turning point 3. So if this is just like another disaster level event, very important. Not debating that whatsoever. At the same time, though, personal level of import, having Norn like us as family again, more important to me.
会社。何か言いたいことがあったら言っていいんだからな。
言いたいことですか？
ああ、俺がノルンを構いすぎてるから自分にもっと構ってほしいとか、仕事が辛いから休みたいとか。
じゃあ一つだけ。お給料をください。
Fair enough.
どうするんだそれ。
旅の途中でお花の種を集めたので育てようと思ったんですけど。
I still think she's like brainwashed to be a maid,
変じゃないさ。なら
but at the very least she understands her worth, which I like.
結構痩せてるから。
それはお兄ちゃんに魔術で出してもらおうかなと思ってるんですけど、ダメですか？
ダメじゃないさ。
よかった。
She's an expert at manipulating. I can see that already.
それシルフィーネーへのお土産ですか？
俺は嫁を大事にする男なのだ。
シルフィーネーは幸せ者ですね。お兄様、暇があれば私にもご寵愛をくださいませ。
嫌だよ、親父に殴られる。
Yeah, this is the Aisha that left
もう一声お願いします。
back in season 1 with information that her mother taught her.
妹でございます。兄はアスラ王国の王女アリエル様からも認められた人物でして。
グレイラット、アリエル様。なるほど。よし、いいだろう。
足りないなら俺が少し出してやろうか。
I'll be honest, if this was me, I would think the opposite. Oh, Rudy's from a noble family, huh? The princess, huh? She should be rich.
何か
I
恐ろ
should
し
be
いもの
charging
を
you people
感じる。
more.
こういう可愛いの欲しかったんですよ。
リーリャさんには買ってもらえなかったのか？
お母さんはダメって言ってました。メイドは趣味で家具を買っちゃいけないんだって。ダメですか？
ダメじゃないさ。
Well, I appreciate this. Again, to my she's brainwashed feelings, at least this feels like she's breaking out of it.
有機物。
そう、食べ物がいいわね。
その条件付けというのは必要なんですか？
ええ、向こうに戻った時
It had to be pretty small, so you don't want to make a disaster.
なるほど。
つまり召喚するものをだんだんと人間に近づけていって、最終的にはピンポイントで日本に帰るということか。
この条件付けを研究するのにまたあの人に会わなきゃいけないわね。
例の召喚術の権威という人ですか？
ええ。で、話は少し変わるけど、これ前に言っていた報酬よ。
これを？
灯火の精霊の召喚魔法陣よ。明るい光を発しながら術者についてくるの。まあ時間が経つと消えちゃうんだけどね。その魔法陣。
What is a lamplight spirit in the context of this world, though?
限定品と言われて心が躍るジャパニーズ。
次の実験に成功したら今度はもっとすごいのをあげるわ。だから引き続きお願い。
I mean, I know what a lamplight spirit is in context of like fantasy.
ザノバはついに自分なりの方法でフィギュアを1個作り終えた。しかもジュリへのプレゼントだとか。
That's pretty good.
グランドマスター、ありがとうございます。
これからもよく働くのだぞ。
フィギュアをプレゼント。あのザノバがね。
Like I said, she's family. She's freaking family.
ルイジェルドと共に妹たちを送り届けてくれたジンジャーはその後、再びザノバに仕えることにしたのだそうだ。しかもジュリに礼儀作法を教えてくれている。おかげでジュリの人間語も
She
かな
called
り
him
上手になってきた。
her prince, right?
学校の近くに部屋も借りたそうだ。騎士というより通い妻のようだ。
何か？いや、ジンジャーさんはどうしてザノバに忠誠を誓っているのかと思って。
ザノバ様の母君より直々にザノバ様のことを頼まれたからです。その時私は誓ったのです。粉骨最新ザノバ様に仕えると。
おお、それは美しい話ですね。それで
How old is Ginger?
それだけですが。
世に配下はおりません。 最後の一人はロキシーの人形と交換いたしましたゆえ。いやー、いい取引でした。
あんな扱いをされても忠誠を誓い続けられる
Yeah,
のか。
because Ginger has a son
まあ
or a
これも
daughter, right?
家族のあり方なんだろうな。
Implying that she's so much older than him, I would think. I mean, possibly not.
の魔力を相殺するんだ。完璧に抑え込むまでには至らないが、リミットを数倍に伸ばすことができる。
つまりはエリナリーゼの呪いの症状を緩和できるらしい。
けど2つ問題がある。
なるほど。問題点の一つはダサいことですね。
そう
Oh,
だ。
you've invested a chastity belt.
ザノバとサイレントに
Great.
協力してもらったおかげで小型化の目処は立っているんだ。
もう一つの問題は、
この魔道具、消費する魔力が多すぎる。今はリーゼどころか僕の魔力でも1時間起動できない。それじゃあ1日に実験できる回数が限られるから、君の魔力でテストさせてほしいんだ。
なるほど。
What if it stores the mana?
よろしく頼む。
If it stores
今回
it,
も少しずつだけど着実に目的に向かって進ん
as
でいる。
horrible as it sounds, you could transfer that mana over to Nanahoshi to use in her testing. Oh my god, Nanahoshi is gonna try something organic. Turning point 3, we are gonna disaster again.
朝飯を食って学校に行ってみんなに会ってそれぞれの研究の進捗を聞いてノルンに勉強を教えて家に帰って家族と過ごす。似たような毎日の中で一歩一歩前に進みながら生きていく。
I mean, even if it's repetitive, it still seems good.
こういう生活を幸せというのだろう。
It really feels like turning points are really just disruptions.
こんな早朝に何かあった？
いざとなるとなんかちょっと怖いね。怖がることはありません。
Time to go with the princess?
勇気を出して。ルディ、僕ここ2ヶ月来てないんだ。
You indicated that you couldn't really have kids that easily. You guys must have been trying hard.
とは思ってたんだ。昨日アイシャちゃんと近くのお医者さんのところに行ったんだけど、多分おめでたですって。
To be fair, that is a turning point in my description of what turning points are for me.
触ってみてもいいか？
はい、どうぞ。
Rudy the dad. That's a hard one. Paul the grandpa. That's hard too.
お兄様、奥様に一言言うべきことがあるのでは？
It's like Wonder Year shit. This is like I've known you my whole fucking life.
ありがとう。
ありがとう。
ごめん、なんかさ、うまく言えない。
ルディ、いつも子供欲しがってたもんね。
They would say like 3 episodes ago. This better not be like a secretly bad turning point, like something really bad happens.
お兄様、奥様の体に差し障りがあるのでしばらくは。はい。 Mm,
So I put too much fear into my own head. Now I can't help but worry.
ありがとう。アリエル様より奥様に最低でも2年は休むようにとのお達しです。エリナリーゼ王おば様がその間責任を持って護衛を引き受けると申し出てくださいました。おばあちゃん大丈夫かな？呪いのこととか。なんとかするとおっしゃっていましたので問題ないのでしょう。他の方々にも報告いたしました。それぞれ様子を見てご挨拶にお越しくださるようです。
そうか。
And now I also can't help but wonder what the hell episode 18.5 is.
いただきます。
れにしても子供が生まれるって言ったら父さんたちびっくりするだろうな。
お父さんの驚く顔見たいですね。
ああ、孫に対しては相当甘いタイプだから。
I don't know. I don't think he'll be that shocked. You are his kid after all.
デレッデレだったからな。
楽しみですね、兄さん。
俺とシルフィーが結婚して家族もみんないる。ブエナ村にいた頃に無双してた理想がすぐそこにある。
I can't read your moon language. Wait. They'll say human god.
や
おい、どういうことだ？
何がだい？
あの手紙だ、ギースからの。ゼニスが救出困難だって。
なんだか大変なんだろうね。
お前は言ったじゃねえか。ベガリット大陸に行ったら後悔するって俺を騙したのか？
騙してなんていないよ。君はベガリット大陸に行けば後悔する。それは今でも変わらない。
ああ、そうか。わかった。つまりあれだな。
Oh no, is it gonna be a thing where, like, if you try and rescue your mom, you're gonna lose your kid?
行かなくても後悔するってな。
そんなことはないさ。現に君、昨日までの時点で後悔したかい？友達もたくさんできた。いろんな人物に会えて君自身も少し成長した。体の不調も治った。妹とも仲良くなった。それに結婚して子供だってできた。
Well, he haven't fathered a kid yet. He's not even born.
悪くはない。
Sired a kid.
けどな、お前は言ったんだよ。ベガリット大陸には行かない方がいいって騙したんだよ。
どう騙してないよ。現に僕は今でも同じことを言う。ベガリット大陸には行かない方がいい。後悔することになる。
でもだって家族のピンチだぞ。せめて理由を教えてくれよ。
それは言えない。
Still kind of surprising that he sees himself as this in his mind after all this.
僕の助言でいつも助かっているのに。
助かっているのと騙されるのじゃ話は別だ。なあ、せめて何か教えてくれよ。俺は何を後悔するんだ。これじゃ物事を天秤にかけることすらできやしない。
普通の人は天秤になんてかけられないんだけどね。君は贅沢だな。
贅沢でも何でもいいんだよ。俺は後悔したくないんだ。
ちょっと考えてみればわかるだろう。君は1年半学校生活を送った。妹たちは1年かけてここまで来た。間違いなく行き違いになっただろ
う。いや、妹は俺の手紙を見てここまで来たんだ。
I mean, if he says it's obvious, then I'm thinking it's the kid thing. That's the obvious thing to me.
いいや。手紙がなくてもパウロは娘をアスラ王国まで送ったよ。あの国にはリーリャの家族がいるからね。
なるほど。言われてみるとそうか。
今だってそうさ。これから旅に出てシルフィーとの子供はどうするんだい？ベガリット大陸に行って帰ってくる。その間君は自分の奥さんを一人にするのかい？
結局どう動いても後悔するってこと。
To be fair, they said send help. They didn't say send you.
ベガリット大陸に行けば。
Well, I mean, we know you go. You're in the opening.
だから行かない方がいい。
まあ、お前がそこまで言うのなら確かに俺は後悔するんだろう。分かったよ。
そうかい？で、助言は聞くかい？
ああ、一応教えてくれ。
ルーデウスよ。次の発情期を待ちなさい。そこでリニアとプルセナがあなたに迫ってくるでしょう。この二人のどちらかと関係を持ちなさい。
Oh man, no.
あなたはさらに幸せになることでしょう。でしょう。
いきなり浮気の話かよ。俺はシルフィーにミサオを立てるって決めたんだぞ。それに第一、
I don't want
あいつらとは
this.
そういう関係じゃない。
I specifically said I don't want this to turn into a mega harem. I think maybe it's time to stop listening to Human God.
リニアとプルセナのことは置いておいて、人神の言葉には一理ある。 俺がどれだけ考えても確証のある答えは出せない。確実に言えるのは、ベガリット大陸まで早くても片道1年はかかるってことだ。
やっぱりあの
See
手
if you
紙
can
の
send
ことなの
Bodyguardi on your behalf.
ねえルディ、僕のことはあまり気にしなくてもいいよ。二人も手紙のこと心配してるしね。
God damn it, I've been about rescuing Zenith this whole time. And now this fucking shit?
救援を求む。何かが起きたんだ。でも差出人はパウロじゃなくギースだ。あいつがパウロと合流する前に独断で出したのかもしれない。
That's fair. Because otherwise the concept is that Paul sent help, sent a letter of help, knowing it would take a year to get to him.
でも
そうですわね。あなたは残った方がいいですわ。
エリナリーゼさん、もしかして行くんですか？
孫夫婦のために一肌脱ぐぐらいはさせてくださいまし。
クリフ先輩はどうするんですか？
別れますわ。仕方ありませんわね。
Oh no, come on, ah.
クリフは将来
This is gonna fucking cost us everything.
邪魔になるようなことはしたくないんですの。私に対する愛は若い頃の気の迷いということにしておくのが一番いいんですわ。
さようですか。師匠ならばすぐに解決して戻ってこられるでしょうな。
Maybe this is a double bluff.
要はここで研究を続けて待っていますので、お早い期間を願って
That
おり
Rudy
ま
has to
す。
sacrifice everything in order to get everything.
師匠が友をお望みでしたらよとて断りませんが、世は旅慣れてはおりませぬゆえ、足手まといになりましょう。それに、ジュリを長旅に連れ歩くわけにもいきますまい。
ザナバ、俺さ、行くべきかな。
それは師匠の決めることです。ですが師匠、一つだけ言わせていただくと、父親が見ていなくとも子は生まれます。不安ならば行くべきかと。その間世が責任を持って奥方様をお守りいたしましょう。無論世としては常に師匠のおそばにいたいのですがな。
Honestly, I would just hire people, send them to go, and have them carry a letter from you to Paul about your current situation.
シルフィーは一人じゃない。妹たちもいるし、俺がいなくてもきっと大丈夫だろう。でも、俺は今やこの家の大黒柱だ。家族と一緒にいて、守ってやるのが夫としての、父としての役目だ。やっぱり置いてなんていけない。
Unless Nanahoshi can figure out how to summon you back. We have that whole scheme.
どこに行くんだ？ノル。大丈夫か？
兄さんが行かないなら私が行こうと思ったんです。
ノル、お前じゃ無理だ。
でもだって兄さん、お父さんとお母さんが大変なんですよ。なんで兄さんは助けに行かないんですか？兄さんとっても強いのに旅だってできるのに。
Oh, and everything's gonna blow up now.
そうだ。俺にはできるんだ。ノルンのように生きたくてもいけないというわけじゃない。俺は
ノル、俺が行く。家のことを任せてもいいか？
はい。
アイシャと喧嘩しないでシルフィーのことを助けてやってくれ。
はい、
Take care of your niece, I guess.
いい子だ。
お願いします兄さん。
俺は
家族を助けに行く。
Technically not our next episode. I have a different episode in the queue for next time. Oh, man. I guess technically, at the very least, this does fulfill my previous definitions of Turning Point. It's all about the character interactions, baby. And this is heavy on that. But now I am just filled with a sense of dread at what the "you will regret this" from God means. Oh, but now I don't know that I can trust human God anymore either. Because I do believe everything he says is true. Like, if Rudy leaves, he will regret this. I don't know why. I mean, this could be anything. Literally, Rudy being the strongest person at school, the moment he leaves, assassins coming to make Ariel pay could target Sylphet, right? Anyone wanting to prove themselves stronger than Rudy could try and take it out on his family. Bodyguardy could turn out to be a negative guy the whole time and, attacks. Who the hell knows? Anything could happen. You're leaving them behind. And this goes to what I was talking about with Daldea Village, right? Once you leave, travel takes so long. Those are people you might never see again. And from the sense here that a year there, a year back, you're going to miss out on so much, and assuming that it's not going to be negative stuff either. You're just going to miss it. But God literally telling you, you are going to regret it if you go there. So many implications, and the fact he won't clear it up, because obviously that's just who that guy is. I guess it also is implications that old thought, I think that Griffin originally brought up back in the day, was that Geese could be human God, in which case human God would literally just be fucking with him. Don't go there, you'll regret it, and here's a little bit of temptation as well. It's like, oh, fucking hell, man. And I definitely don't like the Lena Persina thing. Because again, I don't want this to be a harem. I want him to just have his wife, his kids, his extended family, and that's it. Rudy does not need to become Paul. By which I mean Paul's situation, not who Paul is. He kind of is Paul. Don't become Paul. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is just one of those situations of if I was in Rudy's position, I do not know how I would handle it. For the entire season now, I have been like, we've got to rescue Zenith. We've got to go find Zenith. We got to get her. And now the problem is, if you go and get Zenith, you will regret this. And what do you do with that? Right? Obviously, Norn there at the end of the episode is the antithesis of nobody knows what you're going through. All they see is you not do anything. And in that, you could still lose everything. Kind of why I said hire some people. Hire some people because they said send help. They didn't say come yourself. Right? You could send help. Kind of, I don't know where Ariel is right now, but if Ariel could, sorry, back before the end of the first core of Season 2, when Sylvie is, trying to lure Rudy out to do a mission, and she offers, well, Princess Ariel knows some people, oh, sorry, Rudy brings this up, Princess Ariel knows some people, maybe we could do this. I don't know. I don't know what resources are available here. I would just at least try to get both things done. And that thought that I was having there at the end, Nanahoshi is working on summoning stuff. Like, maybe something there. I don't know if something's there or not. I just don't want the price to be paid. I don't want the regret to be there. But if this does turn out to be defy human god and succeed, this would be the moment to have it happen, right? No regrets. Do not let the Liana Persuna thing happen either. Don't want that. 100%. And Rudy as a dad, Paul as a grandpa, God, those are just hard considerations to make now that we've come all this way. I don't know, man. This episode is it's just a mind fuck now. Because now all I can think of is what is to come. What do these words mean? How is it going to affect stuff? Is Rudy being a dad would be the weirdest fucking thing. But is it something I want to see? Yeah. That would be great. That would be a fucking amazing character development for Rudy. To go from the old guy being a kid, having to educate his dad about basically raising kids, to becoming that dad himself. Like, I suspect that this show, or the manga, is going to end with Rudy dying as an old man on his deathbed, surrounded by a family that loves him, and it's going to be fucking amazing. But I want him to get there, right? I don't want lifelong regret, like I didn't go and try and save my mom, or I went to go and try and save my mom, and my wife died giving birth. Oh God, is that it? Oh. If he leaves, and the advice is to hook up with Lena or Persina, and he'll be happy, is it because Sylphette will have died in childbirth? Is it some sort of twisted backwards message? I'm telling you, you'll regret this, knowing that you'll do it anyway, and you will regret it because she'll die and you won't be there. And that's why I'm following it up with advice, and the advice is start again. I don't move on. I don't. Oh God, this is what I'm saying. It's a mindfuck. I don't know where to go with the whole human god thing. I think I'm gonna sit on that one for a bit. I'm gonna sit on it for a bit and try and figure it out. What the regret's gonna be. Because obviously, if he goes, and it's gonna be a year or two in world time, not necessarily narrative time, because narrative time fast forwards as the plot requires, that he could go and we won't know, like, until season 3 possibly, what the regret is. So I think I'm gonna end the episode here. I'm gonna stew on this for a bit because I have a lot to fucking figure out what I think. I'm hoping I'm not right. The thing that's solidifying now is she's gonna die when he's gone, and that is the advice. God damn it. Anyway, I have been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?